All right, Dominique, over to you.
Oh, I thought you were going to do an intro for me. Okay, sounds good, Taya. Thank you so much. And we are so excited to join you once again for an informative session. And today is a special session because we're bringing some information and an opportunity to you that has not been presented in the past. So I'm so excited today to present to you Ms. Sonia Phillips Nichols of Charlotte, North Carolina, who was appointed by the North Carolina General Assembly in 2021 to serve on the Board of Governors of the University of North Carolina Systems. Her term will end in 2025, and before her term ends, she has great work to be done. Nichols was born in San Francisco, California, and grew up in Tallahassee, Florida. A first-generation college student, she graduated from the infamous Florida A&M University, an HBCU. We have that in common, Sonia. I'm a graduate of Spelman College. She received a bachelor's degree in accounting with a master's degree in business administration. Today, Nichols is a community leader, an author, a philanthropist with a passion for rural colleges and HBCUs. She brings that education to her work on the board, championing the 17 institutions within the system while also pushing for stronger relationships between North Carolina community colleges and public universities. Today, we're going to hear about an opportunity so that you can reach those 17 universities. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Sonia, but before I do, I want to share with you one of her favorite quotes, and it is, "You must have friends and allies on both sides of the aisle, both sides of an issue, both sides of an argument. Take a moment to hear all sides before forming a permanent opinion." Sora Sonia and Governor Sonia, over to you.
Good morning, Dominique, and everyone that's on this particular webinar. I am so excited to be able to work with you all. I'm particularly excited to work with Dominique and the Carolinas, Virginia's Minority Supplier Development Council. I'm quite a fan, have been a fan for a long time. If you see, it took me a minute to make sure I get all those names out. But the most important reason that we are gathered here together is the North Carolina Department of Administration released a report this year, and it stated for the 17 colleges and universities that make up the University of North Carolina system, they spend 10 to 12 billion dollars a year within the North Carolina communities, within the communities in which those colleges rest. And less than 1% of that, we'll just go with the low number. Less than 1% of that $10 billion spent annually goes to the Black community in terms of working with Black vendors, Black businesses, minority vendors. If we add women and other minorities that make up our communities, it's still less than 5%. And I saw this as an opportunity, as I've been blessed to serve on the Board of Governors and being inside the room, to make a change, to make a push on our behalf. I want, if we make up 22% of the state of North Carolina, we contribute to the overall economic development of the entire state, then our Black and minority-owned businesses should also be able to take advantage of the business opportunities presented with a $10 billion annual spend within the University of North Carolina system. In doing that, I have a good friend who's doing work that will allow us to take advantage of this, and now it's Cy Kennedy with Value Innovation Technologies. Cy's business and his platform will allow any organization, not just our universities and colleges, but all organizations, to take advantage of how they do their data management with their suppliers, how they can produce catalogs that will encompass all of the businesses, all of the vendors that would like to do business within any organization. I have to let him explain it, because I'm sure I will mess it up. But I wanted to present an opportunity to you, our minority suppliers and vendors. I would love for you to take advantage of the relationship between Cy Kennedy and Value Innovation Technologies and the Carolina, Virginia's Minority Supplier Development Corp. I'm bringing these two powerhouses together to then present all of you an opportunity to do business with the University of North Carolina system. Not only will this allow you to take advantage of this system, it will allow you to take advantages of all the systems that both Cy and Dominique's organizations have at their feet. So I just want to make sure that for no other reason, me serving on this board and wanting to make sure I look out, because I have a passion for HBCUs, I have a passion for our rural schools. I want our Black and minority-owned businesses to be able to take advantage of the spend that's going on in this state. And I believe that this partnership will allow us to do that. So I'll be quiet. I'm gonna turn this thing over to Cy Kennedy, and he's gonna tell you how you can be involved and take advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you, Sonia. And as we turn it over to Cy, as you get your slides ready, to our audience, and we have quite a few folks in our audience today, we're making it easier for you, right? So Cy is going to introduce to you an e-platform that allows you to put your business on that platform, and all of the schools that we're talking about will have access to your businesses. So with that, Sonia and I are going to leave you here, Cy, and we'll be back for Q&A. Take it away.
Well, thank you, Dominique and Sonia, for the introduction, and Dominique for giving us this opportunity to talk to the group today about what I believe is a really exciting opportunity. And what we're really focused on today is a digital marketplace that Value Innovation Technologies is building for the University of North Carolina system, specifically for the purpose of allowing the system to spend more with minority-owned businesses and with rural-owned businesses. So as Sonia mentioned, there was a disparity study done here in the state of North Carolina, and a portion of that disparity study was specifically focused on the University of North Carolina system and the 17 colleges and universities that make up that system. And as was pointed out earlier, the state of North Carolina has a population that is approximately 30% minority, about 22% of which are Black people. We also know that depending on the category of business, and there are 5 basic business categories that were part of this study: general goods, professional services, non-professional services, construction, and the last category is architecture and engineering. That depending on which of those 5 categories we're talking about, anywhere from 12% to 25% of the businesses in North Carolina actually are minority business enterprises. So we know there are minority businesses that are available to receive these purchases in the categories where the UNC system spends. The bottom line, though, is that the disparity study showed that in those 5 categories, anywhere from as little as 0.3% to the highest category was 5.8% of the spend went to minority-owned businesses. And that's just unacceptable. It's too low relative to the number of businesses available. It's too low relative to the general population that contributes to our tax base. And that study came out earlier this year, and it's really been a driver for the UNC system to say, we need to make some changes. We need to do something to improve our record in terms of equitable inclusion of minority-owned businesses. They also have a problem with rural spend. And it's not quite as acute as the MBE spend problem, but it's also really important. As you all know, North Carolina has 100 counties. And depending on which of those 5 spend categories I mentioned, we see that anywhere from 55% of that total spend, that $10 billion that Sonia mentioned, up to almost 80%, 79% of that spend goes to the same 6 counties. And I bet you can guess which 6 counties they are. The counties around Charlotte and the counties around Raleigh get the lion's share of the business from the UNC system schools. The other 94 counties are not getting their fair share. And that's an issue that needs to be addressed as well. So The challenge here is that the UNC system needs a consistent way to do this, to really address this problem, a systematic way to do it, to increase spend with rural businesses, to increase spend with minority-owned businesses. And I think one reason, not the only reason, but one reason that this spend is so low for these two business categories is because there's not a convenient way for the system or for the state at large. And we see this with other large enterprises that we've worked with. There's just not a convenient way for them to have one place to go to buy from many MBEs at the same time. And that's what we want to give them, a place where they can shop, place orders, do it online in a user-friendly environment, something that really mimics a consumer-like shopping experience, but has all the business rules in the background to make it really effective to solve this problem, this diversity spending problem. So the benefits of building a UNC system marketplace are really to just drive more spend to diverse businesses and rural businesses. We all know that what gets measured gets done. So a big part of this is accountability and to provide transparency through detailed reporting. And along with making this convenient, compatible with other systems, allowing them to do comparison shopping for savings and in a secure environment, it's a real solution for the UNC system, and it's a real opportunity for the MBEs in this area. So the goal here is to implement a shopping marketplace that is curated so that it includes small businesses, rural businesses, diverse businesses from the North Carolina area in the region that the UNC system schools service, and to allow the UNC system employees to buy from this marketplace. So as you may know, there are 17 different schools in the UNC system that are represented on the chart on the screen here. They include HBCUs, they include some really large majority institutions, and also the North Carolina School of Science and Math and the North Carolina School of the Arts. The goal is for all of these organizations to be able to access this UNC marketplace and buy from minority business vendors, women-owned vendors, and vendors in rural locations. The takeaway here is that easily being able to track this spend and to be inclusive of minority businesses and rural businesses will increase diversity spend and will also increase rural spend. And that's what this presentation is about today. And what we want to do is, through our partnership with the CVMSDC, we want to invite this large group of the best minority-owned businesses in the area to participate in this marketplace so that you can load your products and services that you have for sale in this marketplace so they can be accessed and purchased from the UNC system schools. And here's a little bit of information about how this works. So Value Innovation Technologies, the company that I lead, owns a platform that we developed. It's a patented system that we call eLink Gateway. And the eLink Gateway platform is a cloud-based system that we use to build customized digital marketplaces. And we have a particular focus on using this digital marketplace technology to provide access for small businesses, especially minority-owned businesses, to be able to sell to large institutions. One of the things that we do to make this easy and effective is we provide some services wrapped around this system. We will help vendors to be able to do things like build your catalog, and so that it can be loaded into the marketplace for sale. We know that according to the SBA, only about 64% of small businesses have a website. And intuitively, a much smaller percentage than that have a really functional e-commerce system. It takes time, it takes technological expertise, it takes human resources to be able to build an e-commerce platform. And we've done all that work for you. All that you have to be able to do is load your products in an Excel spreadsheet along with a description of what you're selling and a few other key data points. And we can take that spreadsheet and turn it into a really sophisticated looking offering inside this state-of-the-art e-commerce marketplace. Another thing that we do is catalog aggregation. We're very good at taking a wide range of products and services, making sure it's very well organized so that the shoppers can easily find your products and services that you have for sale and purchase them from you. Another thing that we do is we help you with content management. You will have a need to change your product offering from time to time. You may have items that you need to add to your assortment or items that are discontinued from your assortment. From time to time, you may need to adjust your pricing, either up or down. And our platform has a vendor portal, and we provide vendor services around that to help you to manage your content. The whole goal here is to make it easy for you to be successful and have access to these large buying clients that are spending this $10 billion a year that you may not otherwise have easily been able to access. Here's the way it looks for the end user, the shopper, an employee for one of those UNC system schools who wants to go into the UNC system marketplace and buy something from a minority-owned business. They would log into their own internal procurement platform, and from there will be an icon or some type of link to this marketplace. And once they click on that link, they'll be taken to a page where they can choose what type of product or service category they might want to shop from. In my example here, the user has selected safety supplies. And once they get in there will be products from many different vendors. In my example, I have some large businesses and some minority and women-owned businesses represented here. In practice, we are unlikely to have this number of large businesses in the marketplace. Ideally, we'd really like it to be focused exclusively on small businesses. The shopper can shop across all these providers all at the same time, pick multiple different items from multiple different vendors, load them into the same shopping cart, and that cart is then taken back to the UNC system schools procurement platform where it can go through their normal process for issuing a purchase order. And at the same time, that cart is split up so that each MBE, each vendor who's selling in this marketplace will receive notification of the order that they've received from the client so you can fill that order. Here are a couple of examples of what this marketplace looks like in real life. So users can search for items here. There are filters down the left side where the search can be refined. My search here is for ladders. I could refine it even more to look for a particular type of ladder or maybe something with a specific weight rating. You may notice here that there are certain icons that we've built into the platform. We can denote items as being supplied by a woman-owned business or by a minority-owned business or by a rural business or whatever other designations might be important to the client. We also are able to provide side-by-side product comparison to the buying client where they could select multiple different items at the same time, and they could scroll down much more than what is depicted here on the screen to look at specific specifications side by side. And that allows them to help make the best choice. It also helps your products to stand out. So we encourage you to include as much information as you possibly can about what you have for sale so that the end user shopper can make intelligent choices about buying your products. Here's a little bit of information about the technology behind the platform. It's not even though we're a relatively new company, it's not an unproven system. We won a Global Innovation Award for developing this technology from Red Hat. VIT is the only minority-owned business to ever win this Global Innovation Award. Listed on the right side of this screen here are some of the other organizations who've won this award. And we're just proud to be in the company of these large multinational organizations, and proud that our technology was recognized as being worthy of this Global Innovation Award. It's secure, it's scalable. I mentioned before that it's cloud-based. We're hosted at Amazon Web Services, which is the largest and best, in our opinion, hosting company in the world. We developed this system in conjunction with Red Hat. We hired them to help us to write the code. It was actually something that we redesigned from a platform that we built at our former parent company. Value Innovation Technologies is a spinoff of American Product Distributors, which at one point was one of the largest Black-owned distribution companies in the country. I think we had made it to as high as number 30 or so on the Black Enterprise top largest Black-owned companies list. But there we developed this technology and redesigned it with Red Hat so that we could really level the playing field for small businesses to be able to sell more to large corporations, large institutions, and government entities. We run on the Linux platform, which is very secure, and we also have the Trust Keeper certification for payment card security. Our intellectual property is patented. This system received a US patent from the US Patent and Trademark Office in 2020. We have a lot of experience integrating with other systems. Large buying organizations like the UNC system and other buying clients that we build marketplaces for use large procurement platforms like Coupa or Ariba or Oracle. And we are very experienced in integrating with all of those. I won't go into the details of the technology that we use to do this integration, but we've performed many of these. We've built marketplaces, shopping sites for a lot of large corporations and other entities. We've managed over $300 million worth of transactions using this platform. So even though we are a relatively young company, the technology that we're offering you is tested and it works. We've done it for organizations as large as Walmart, Northrop Grumman, PepsiCo, Johnson & Johnson, and many, many others. Some of the benefits here to you as a vendor are that it's a way for you to attract new customers, to receive orders from the UNC system that you may not have otherwise been able to receive, which really helps to create a better local economy. We want you to be able to easily load your items. I mentioned that this can be done with something as simple as an Excel spreadsheet. We also have a service team available to you to help. We also have a vendor portal where you can do this yourself, load this information yourself. And we're compatible with your existing systems. The bottom line is that this is a great opportunity to really increase sales, create new customer relationships with very low financial risk for the vendor. You don't really have that cost of sales to go out and develop relationships when you use an e-commerce marketplace like the one that we're offering. What it costs for vendors is a modest investment. There's an annual catalog fee for the opportunity to load your catalog into this marketplace. That fee is only about $500 at this point. There's also a transaction fee that's only charged when you generate a sale, and that fee runs somewhere around 3.5%. To the extent there are customizations or other integrations that a vendor may desire, we're happy to do that for you. And we only charge our hourly rate to do those customizations for you on a case-by-case basis. And here's how to participate. So step one is to go through our registration process, where you just provide some basic business information to us that allows us to set up your account. Step two is to go through the vendor onboarding process, where we give you some training on how to load your product or service offering. That doesn't take very long. It's about a 1-hour training session that gets you ready to get your products available for sale. And then after that, we go live. And you can start to receive live orders, and you're eligible to receive the customer support that we provide. A little bit of information about our company is that we're actually an MBE ourselves. We're also a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business and a small disadvantaged business. As was mentioned earlier, I'm the CEO of our company. My father, Ray, is the chairman of our board of directors. And Eva Dinion, who's also on this call today, is our head of technology. And she runs the team that helps to do our vendor onboarding as well. So someone from her group would be assisting you as you load your catalog offering. I'll pause there and give you some information about how to contact us. We're really, really excited about this opportunity, and we encourage you to reach out to us as soon as you can to load your products in this marketplace and get your share of the $10 billion that the UNC system spends. Thank you very much.
Outstanding, Cy. Thank you so much for the detail. Now let's get into some Q&A. You have quite a few questions coming in through the chat. So I want to start with one question that a couple of people have asked. Most of the time when you look at a system like this, you think of products. Can you talk to us about services? Because we have quite a few people on who have services that they want to provide.
Sure. So you're 100% right that most marketplace platforms are focused on products. And that's one thing that makes us different from other marketplace systems. We are able to handle services in addition to products. And we know that most small businesses, especially MBEs, are service providers. One of the key differences when selling services is you don't always have a set price for your offering. There's not always just a one-size-fits-all price where someone could just online click on your offering and order one unit of whatever the services that you're selling. So in our marketplace for services, instead of a button that adds the service to cart, there's a button that says request a quote. And once that request a quote button is clicked, it triggers the vendor and it triggers the buyer to have an interaction about what are the terms of service that the buyer is trying to buy. And they can have that back and forth discussion using our platform. And once there's an agreement, that quote turns into an order and the vendor is triggered to actually fill the order. And that's how we manage services. And it's a key thing that makes us different from other platforms.
Excellent.
I add
Excellent.
a point to that, Dominique.
Yes.
I do want your viewers to also know that the system has spent over $3 billion on services, all kinds of services. And so this is a tremendous opportunity for those of you that are not selling widgets in a catalog to participate in providing those services. You know, you may be a caterer, maybe you have a floral business. These are things that the system, the campuses need all of the time. They have events going on all of the time. So that's just an example, but services, it's literally 30% of that $10 billion spend each year. So this is a great opportunity for you if you have that type of business.
Outstanding. Because Chef Maria asked whether you could use team building activities, and she's a pastry chef. And so she wants, to teach folks how to bake cakes. So I told her absolutely yes. Rosalind Goodwin is asking if you can share the types of categories of products that the system is going to be sourcing. And I would say anything and everything that a university would need.
Mhm.
You are 100% right, Dominique. There are no limitations on product categories that this platform can handle. That's a big part of why we built this system. We wanted to make it very, very open-ended. We learned from our experience when I was president of American Product Distributors that we could generate a high volume of sales to large enterprises as an MBE if we had really, really good technology to interface with their procurement platforms. And we thought that if we could sell more products and services, create a platform to sell more products and services than just one company could provide, then it would really create opportunity and level the playing field for many, many MBEs. And that's what this platform's about. So there are no limitations to what type of product can be sold in this marketplace.
Love it, love it. All right, Rosalind Goodwin is asking, are there plans to add institutions from other states in the future?
The answer is yes. We build marketplaces that are curated for each buying client's needs. Here today, we're really just talking about one group of buying clients, the UNC system. But we have marketplaces in other areas. There's a local marketplace that we built in the Chicago area. We have plans to build one in the Charlotte area, in other states. Some of them can be focused on large business enterprises, others focused on institutions of higher learning, healthcare, government. There are a lot of different kinds of marketplaces that our company can build. And we would invite the vendors who participate in the UNC system marketplace to also participate in some of our other marketplaces. In general, we also would like to launch a national marketplace that includes vendors from all of our local and specific marketplaces that can be accessed by anyone. So this is one of many opportunities, and we just encourage you to get involved in our system so that you can participate in all of it.
And there's value in getting involved early, so you can be one of the first 20 or 30 companies to get on this platform and grow with the platform. Samuel Brown asks, my company receives feeds weekly that update pricing weekly. Can VIT integrate with my distributors so the updates can be made automatically?
The answer is yes. I'd like to ask you to chime in here from a technical standpoint to talk about how we might be able to interact with the supplier for a vendor to update pricing on a basis that's frequent.
Yes, thank you, Sai. Absolutely. Our platform can integrate with your vendor system, and we can make it simple because our services includes actually dealing with your manufacturer or whoever provides you with your product. So we will just have to assess what kind of system they have. We'll agree on integration. And since we will be integrated for pricing updates, a lot of time, inventory updates can also be included in that. So that is something that is part of what we can support.
Excellent, excellent. So there's go ahead,
just to clarify on that, that falls under the category of additional optional services that we can provide. And to perform something like the integration that Eva described, we would charge the vendor our hourly rate for the development work that has to be done to do that integration.
Right.
Very good, very good. So you pretty much answered this question, but I'm going to still ask it because Tina put it in the chat. Can you advise how to be involved with logistics services under this great opportunity? And that just falls under services, right?
That's right. That's right. Logistics services are services to us. Those logistics services sound like a great category of businesses that the UNC system would need to use. We would encourage you to register and schedule an onboarding appointment so that we can load your offering into the marketplace.
Excellent, excellent. And Walter Meeks is asking, as a cybersecurity company vendor, help me understand how your platform will help me break into these universities.
Well, the first thing that it'll do is give you exposure to these universities. To have your cybersecurity services listed as a service offering in the marketplace, where someone could click on your business and ask for a quote on the spot, is a way to constantly be in front of buyers. Even if you don't have an appointment, even if you don't have a meeting with them, it's a way for you to get exposed. I've already described how the quoting process works and how you can go from someone clicking on the button to actually having an order inside this marketplace. But another thing that I think is important for service providers and product providers to know is that there's an opportunity for you to have an About Us page in this marketplace, where someone can click on your business and you can have we can load for you a page that's about your company. And I think that's particularly helpful for service providers, where maybe the service that you provide is not so simple, or maybe it's not so intuitive, and it gives you a chance to really explain so that you can constantly have a marketing piece in front of these UNC system buyers.
And that's a unique feature there. I love that. So there's extra exposure there. Fabulous. So Cy, there's another question coming in from Derek Pratt. It says, hello, Cy. Congratulations for building such a world-class system. It is an exciting platform. In 2021, what was the annual revenue or commerce executed with the platform with actual MBEs?
2021, I don't have those figures here available to me. I think the important takeaway here is that there is $10 billion worth of spend that the UNC system wants to increase the percentage of that that's going to MBEs. And they have embraced this marketplace concept as one of their solutions to their problem. So I would encourage you to get involved. The fee to build a catalog is only $500. I think it's absolutely worth that to be in this marketplace so that you can get your share of the $10 billion that's being spent.
Yeah, thank you, Cy. And to build on, go ahead. Go ahead.
The one thing I do want to add to those that are participating is right now we have an opportunity that I don't feel the UNC system has had in a while. And right now you have an advocate that's sitting at the table to encourage all 17 of our colleges and universities to increase their diversity spending. We haven't had that before. Well, we have it now. That is, and everyone is aware of that board of governors. That is my number one priority, is for our Black and minority-owned businesses to be able to take advantage of more than $10 billion spent annually. Now you will have a seat at the table along with me as I'm pushing your products. It's just that I felt using a size platform along with the Carolina, Virginia's Minority Supply Development Corporation. I love saying that. I want companies to know that when we are coming to the table, you are certified to do business. Not only are you certified with the state to do business, you are also certified as a minority-owned business. All of you know, and I can say it out loud, that every now and then you try to show up to a place and people will figure out ways to dismiss you from the table because you don't have this qualification, you don't have this certification, you don't have this, and they'll come down with a list of things. I wanted this combination between Cy and Dominique, because there will be no reason anyone will be able to deny any of the businesses participating on these two platforms to not get this business. So I'm encouraging everybody, sign up. I'm going to be in there advocating on your behalf to use this system.
Thank you so much, Sonia. And I just want to reiterate, what you were saying. We're here today because we're rolling this platform out. So there's no 2021 history. Yes, Cy has history with the technology. He's utilized it with other companies nationwide. But for this particular audience, Sonia is delivering to us a UNC system through this platform. And so in 2022, we're going to see some numbers on the table. And those folks who take advantage of the opportunity and sign up to be part of the system, you will be able to, when we come back next year for this conversation, we'll be able to look at the actual results and show how a difference has been made. So I encourage each of you, as Sonia said, to sign up, be a part of the platform. $500 is a mere pittance, you know, to reach 17 schools, right? So to make 17 appointments on your own and to fail at each appointment, okay, is real. But to get into this system and reach 17 organizations that are backed and supported by the system. And Sonia saying, hey, have you utilized the portal? Where is your spend? Because we can now measure the spend of each school, each department by looking at what buttons they push in the portal. So it's real-time information. And we can now say, you didn't even use the portal. Where is your spend, right? So Sonia can measure this, and and there's nothing better than getting sales while you're sleeping. While you're sleeping, you know, while you're on vacation, your catalog is in the system and people are buying products and services from you. So it's a win-win for everyone. Thank you. Any other questions? I answered all the questions that were in the chat. Sai, fabulous job. Sonia, thank you for being here. Ava, thank you. So if we don't have any other questions, Taya, do you have any questions coming in? You see anything?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, Sai, I'm going to have you do closing remarks, and Sonia, and then we'll be done. Sai, closing remarks.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for your time today. We are genuinely excited about this opportunity. As Sonia mentioned earlier, this is a unique time because we actually have a real advocate there with the UNC System Board of Governors. I can tell you, I've known Sonia for a long time. She means it. She's for real. And we also have a tool that can really help them to solve this problem. So we're in a position where the UNC system wants to do better. We have a tool that will help them to do better through Dominique's organization, CVMSDC. We have access to the best MBEs in the area. I implore you, take advantage of this opportunity, get in this marketplace so we can go back to the UNC system and say, look what we've done here. There are no more excuses for not being inclusive of the best businesses in our community.
Thank you so much. Intentionality. Ms. Sonia?
Well, I just wanted to thank all of you for participating and taking advantage. I'm going to go ahead and claim it that you will take advantage of this opportunity. The system wants to do better. I want to help them do better. And I think, you know, all the way around, we're here to help one another, to go further, to go faster. I think this will provide us the opportunity to go faster. So please sign up. Sai, I thank you. Dominique, I thank you for your willingness to see the vision. And y'all, let's go get this money. I'm here to help you. Go get this money.
Thank you so much. And there was a question in the chat about the slides. This whole presentation will be live on our website at cvmsdc.org. The slides are available to anyone who signed up. All the information is there and how you can register. So I thank you all for today. That is a wrap.
Thank you.
Thank you.